Alyssa Mercante has filed a lawsuit against Smash JT, accusing him of stochastic terrorism, defamation, and more. Wrote this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. I encourage you to head on over there, become a paid subscriber, help support us in fighting back against this woke ideology that is not going anywhere. It is still here. It is still trying to infect the video game industry. It, in fact, has infected the video game industry and is actively destroying it as we speak. We are here exposing it and trying to give it the antidote that it deserves. So, as I said, wrote this up over at phantompulse.com. Former Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante filed a lawsuit against Smash JT in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York for stochastic terrorism, defamation, bias-related violence or intimidation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and torturous interference. Wow, can I speak? Let me slow down here. Mercante shared the lawsuit to social media, which was filed by her lawyers Lane A. Haygood, Don McGowan, and J. Remy Green. She and her lawyers specifically alleged that Smash JT defamed her by claiming she performs a sex act for money. You can read what that sex act is there on your screen. The lawyers accused that Smash JT, quote, made factually false statements about her with actual malice because Tarzia's quoted statements are statements which impugns the chastity of Alyssa Mercante and accuse her of the commission of a crime of moral turpitude, to wit, prostitution under New York Penal Law 230, under New York Civil Rights Law 77, if they are defamatory per se, and special damages need not be pled. They add, nevertheless, as a direct and proximate result of the false statement by Tarzia, Alyssa Mercante has suffered the following non-exclusive list of damages: injury to her professional reputation, loss of status and goodwill at her job, loss of status and goodwill in the industry. She covers injury to her personal reputation, loss of economic opportunity, loss of income, and mental anguish. Interestingly enough, Mercante has indeed admitted that she is a sex worker, former sex worker. She posted this just in June right here, 2024. Obviously referring to Smash JT here, but does say that she wrote here, he has suggested I can't be trusted as a reporter or a person because I was a former sex worker. And then she made this edit here, am a former sex worker. And then Smash has also shared this where she has posted this. This is in April, where she was asked by this guy, Magnus Sanford, how did you get into the gaming industry? Or maybe he just asked that in general. And she responded by saying she performed a sex act. Now, who knows if she's being honest here or if she's being tongue-in-cheek or what, but that is what she said. And then obviously she has admitted to being a sex worker as well. So not really sure how saying that she engaged in a sex act for money is defamatory when she says that she literally got into the industry, the gaming industry, by performing a sex act, and then also admitting that she was a former sex worker. Now, obviously, I find this all repulsive, but I guess former sex workers don't always perform the same acts, right? Maybe that's the argument that she might go with. Who knows? Who knows? But I did listen to a Fulton Sheen episode this past weekend, and he was talking about how we have this like false compassion that was basically taking over our society, where you can't call a tramp anymore. Because if a tramp does all the tramp things, you can't call her a tramp because that tramp is not a nice word. So you can't call a person tramp even though they're acting and doing everything that a tramp does. And that looks like to be like what is happening right here. Right here. Moving on to the next accusation. Mercante claims that Smash JT harassed her by quote, by engaging in a course of conduct that has reasonably put her in fear of physical injury under New York Civil Rights Law 79. And Alyssa Mercante states upon information and belief that his selection of her for harassment is based upon Jeff Tarzi's belief or perception regarding Alyssa Mercante's race, color, gender, age, and or sexual orientation. This is a bunch of BS. Smash has a whole Kotaku detected page, and he's got all kinds of people on there, and it has nothing to do with their race, color, gender, age, and or sexual orientation. So don't believe this at all. Looks like a totally fake allegation. Nevertheless, they accuse Smash JT of intentionally inflicting emotional distress on Mercante as well. It says this: Tarzi has engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct. Not only has he committed individually the torts set forth in this complaint, but his conduct has touched off a firestorm that has resulted in Alyssa having to daily face unwanted attention online from malefactors, both in public and private messages. This has always been Tarzi's intent. He knew before making a single statement about Mercante that some of his viewers would take it too far, and he made the statements he did understanding and believing that this type of conduct would result. Then says the direct and proximate result of Tarzi's actions and words is that Alyssa Mercante suffered compensable damages within the jurisdictional limits of this court. So again, I think this is all a bunch of crap too. I don't have the tweet pulled up, but I'm pretty sure she said that she was literally making a lot of the comments so she could jumpstart her streaming career over on Twitch. I think she said that within like the last 2 months. And then obviously, I think there's something to say here to the fact that she's trying to blame Smash JT for people rebuking her own comments that she has made, which are degenerate, disgusting, and evil. And so she's trying to put all of that on Smash JT when she can't take any kind of personal responsibility for herself. The fourth accusation is that Smash JT engaged in torturous interference with contract, and this one is just absolutely hilarious because it's so ridiculous. It says this: Jeff Tarzi's harassment campaign, detailed above, intentionally sought to run Alyssa Mercante out of the video games journalism industry. I actually think that part is true. He did try to get her out. I did too. She's poison. She's ruining the video games industry. She has awful takes. She's promoting woke ideology. It's leading people down paths of destruction. Now, I don't think Smash JT agrees with everything on why I want her out. He might have his own opinion on why he wants her out, but that's why I wanted her out. Anyways, it goes on and says, Jeff Tarzi's harassment was unlawful and torturous. Jeff Tarzi's unlawful harassment was intended to interfere with Alyssa Mercante's employment. Jeff Tarzia promoted the commentary by streamer Destiny related to Mercante's support of Hassan Piker, which led to people accusing Mercante of anti-Semitism. As a direct and proximate result of Tarzi's unlawful harassment, which that hasn't been proven, Alyssa Mercante lost her job and had her contract brought out by her now former employer. Tarzia intentionally and knowingly tortuously interfered with Alyssa Mercante's contract with her employer. So she's blaming Smash JT for something that Destiny said about Alyssa Mercante and her support of Hassan Piker. Okay, I mean, it's totally and utterly ridiculous. Totally and utterly ridiculous. But it is interesting. I mean, she said she resigned and it was her choice to leave. Clearly, that is not the case. Clearly, she was forced out. Lawsuit is now saying that is the case. So I think that's a piece of evidence that shows that Alyssa Mercante is a liar, which I think does not go well for her on any of these charges either. Or accusations, I guess. Finally, it accuses Smash JT of common law stochastic terrorism and her prima facie tort. Now, obviously, if you've been following any of these celebrity or influencer lawsuits, you listen to a lot of the legal experts. They all talk about how you always put the one that you think is the most important or the one that has the most validity, I guess is probably the right word there. That's at the top. And the ones at the bottom are the ones you think have the least valid, right? So this is the one at the bottom, the stochastic terrorism one, because I think they don't even think this one is legitimate. I think they just shoehorned it in here as kind of like, let's just throw everything at the table kind of thing. Because it's almost like a repetition of all the other accusations combined into one here. And it says that Smash JT stoked harassment by his followers. That stoking is by design. New York and this court should recognize a residual liability tort for stochastic terrorism, where a person engaged in a targeted pattern of harassment directed at one person with the express goal of otherwise tortuously interfering in that person's life or livelihood. This court should impose new tort liability for stochastic terrorism in accordance with its sister court in Washington. So it talks about this other court case in Washington where they push this whole stochastic terrorism idea. So that Jeff Tarzia's wrongs do not go unpunished. In the alternative, the court should use the elements of prima facie tort here. Tarzia is engaged in intentional infliction of harm, causing special damages without justification or excuse by otherwise lawful acts. It then concludes saying Alyssa Mercante has undeniably suffered compensable damages within the jurisdiction of this court, including but not limited to lost wages, loss of business opportunity, loss of business goodwill, damage to reputation, loss of employment, mental anguish, and punitive damages for which demand is now made. Smash initially responded to the lawsuit on X. He wrote this: "You are as annoying as you are relevant," responding to Mercante's post with the lawsuit, trying to mock him for asking where the lawsuit was after she repeatedly threatened that it was coming. And it took her like 3 months, or I don't know, it took her like 6 months, I feel like she's been saying that she was going to threaten a lawsuit for half the year. Wait till December to do it. Maybe she had to wait because she had to wait for the Rolling Stone checks to clear, because that's where she's been writing now. He then shared a GIF from Predator of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch character putting on war paint. And then it was a response to his lawyer, Ron Coleman, saying he's on it. And then we got some more here too. He says, "It's clear this isn't a lawsuit as much as it was a calculated move to put me and my family in danger." And he specifically says that because she doesn't include her address in the legal document, but she includes his. And he said this: "Also interesting how she feels unsafe posting her own address in the legal document, but didn't have a problem including mine and sharing the document publicly to her legion of followers who actively hate me. Weird." And then again, he adds this: "It's clear this isn't a lawsuit as much as it was a calculated move to put me and my family in danger." And it doesn't look like he has posted anything else. Let's just check. Yeah, that looks like the last thing that he has posted on this matter. So that's what Smash JT's response is. That's what Alyssa Mercante's lawsuit is. Again, to recap, she is suing Smash JT for defamation, bias-related violence or intimidation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, torturous interference, and stochastic terrorism. I don't think there will be really anything on this. I have a feeling this is going to get dismissed pretty quickly. If anything, we might see a slap charge against her, maybe a countersuit. I think that is likely. We'll see how that goes. But I think Smash's commentary here is rather interesting, noting that this is maybe just using the lawsuit as a way to attack Smash JT rather than have it be a legitimate lawsuit. So we'll see what happens with this. Obviously, we'll be covering the story following this, but I just don't see where Alyssa Mercante is able to convince a judge, let alone a jury, of any of the things she's actually accusing Smash JT of, given I feel like there's so much overwhelming evidence against her claims. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.